welcome to your weekly forecast for February 28th through March 6th. This is for Leo Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might see this video outside of the time frame I mentioned, and that's just fine. You're going to see it whenever you're meant to see it, whenever it's time for you to hear the messages. Keep in mind it is a general reading. Not every single message will resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. So without further ado, let's see what's going on here for Leo Sun, Moon, and Rising. Alrighty, my dears, let's see what we have coming up. And your first card here is the Ten of Swords. Now, I know the Ten of Swords is a card that freaks a lot of people out. I mean, you've got this poor dude here laying face down and there's 10 swords sticking out of his back. It doesn't look like a happy image, right? But the Ten of Swords actually has a very positive meaning around it, which we could kind of maybe word it as the beast is dead, right? So this could be karmic cycles that are finally done, that you're not going to have to repeat again. Or a lot of the times, the Ten of Swords can also be breaking out of addictive behaviors. It can be entering a time of sobriety, but not just a time of sobriety once and for all, right? Sometimes sobriety can be a journey, and it can be different things. It can be alcohol, it can be some other substance, it could be food, it could be physical relations, it could be a number of different things that people kind of will self-medicate with. It's not always going to be alcohol or pills or something like that. But the Ten of Swords is like you're never going to go back to it again. Or if there's been a cycle that you've just been going around in circles with someone or a situation, if something keeps pulling you back or calling you back again. Some of you may have had this cycle with your living arrangement. Like maybe you felt you were stuck living with family or a sibling or a partner that you haven't been able to leave because of like financial reasons. You may have had a situation where you get out, you're on your own, then you run into problems or issues or challenges and you end up having to move back in. Some of you have this cycle with a living arrangement or living situation, and you're finally going to be breaking out of that. One more thing I'll say about the Ten of Swords and we'll move on. Anytime I've pulled Ten of Swords for myself, pulling cards for myself, or any of my long-term clients that I've gotten to see in between their readings what happens in their life, because I've been reading for them for so long, like I know their life. Anytime I've pulled Ten of Swords, I've noticed it's been before a really big, really positive breakthrough where they've leveled up in some way. So this could be preparing to leave a job or even a relationship that when you first landed it or you first found yourself in it, it could have been a really big deal. And you could have been like, oh my gosh, what a blessing. But you've grown so much since then that you've outgrown it. And now it's holding you back. It's uncomfortable. It's like you're having to play small to stay in it. And that's very painful. Like when you're a kid and you outgrow your shoes, you might love those shoes. But you can't keep forcing your foot into some tiny little shoe. And the Ten of Swords can be the same way with a situation or a relationship. Like it's a bittersweet having to leave, but it's time to leave it. I see that happen with the Ten of Swords a lot too. So your next card here, my darlings, and excuse my puppy, he's being extra loud right now. He's playing with his baby. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands here. This is your beautiful fiery energy, Leo. This is you being in your element. This is you being in your energy. Queen of Wands is such a fiery message. And I know a lot of people are used to watching tarot for love and romance. And unfortunately, our poor, beautiful Queen of Wands gets typecast as a mistress in a situation with some readers. And it is true, it can mean that sometimes. However, in this instance, the Queen of Wands is going to be the other broader meaning of the card, right? The cards have so, oh gosh. Sorry, we're having a serious discussion here. We've got comedic squeaky sound effects in the back. But we have the Queen of Wands here, and the Queen of Wands is a very empowering energy. A lot of the times for me, when the Queen of Wands comes up in a reading, what's happening is you're beginning to open your eyes. You're beginning to realize how much you bring to the table here. You're beginning to realize how much other people are benefiting or profiting from having you around, and you're getting peanuts in return, if even that. So I see the Queen of Wands come up when she's like, this is ridiculous. This is the way I'm benefiting the people around me, and I'm not having my needs supported. I'm not receiving what I need, and I am sick and tired of giving everything and not getting back what I deserve. So the Queen of Wands gets very angry, and she begins to go out there and decide, I'm not settling for less. And that anger is like fuel for the fire, to where she finds a better situation very quickly. It doesn't take her long at all. So this could be where you're fed up and you start searching for a new job, and you're aiming higher, and you know what you bring to the table, and you're finally finding that job that gives you the title and the pay that you deserve. Or it could be self-employment, where you're realizing, I am sick and tired of making other people rich. I can do this for myself, right? I can put this energy into myself and work for myself and keep that money for myself. And so there's this sense of leveling up, and there's this sense of getting more or receiving more with the Queen of Wands. I see that happen time and time again. In terms of personality or characteristics, Queen of Wands, even though there's this feisty, driven, ambitious side to her, she's also kind of seen as the life of the party. Wonderful sense of humor, very charismatic. You know, everybody wants to date her, everybody wants to be around her. And so some of you may be stepping into these characteristics, these very bold, ambitious, charismatic characteristics, because I'm focusing on you and your energy in the weekly forecasts, and less about other people in a situation. If you do want love and romance, you can watch the love readings for March. They're linked in the description. But to me, this Queen of Wands here is, you guys are embracing that fire, and you're realizing how gifted you are, how talented you are, how much other people benefit from you, and you're like, what about me? Like, what about my turn, right? So it's a positive or a justified entitlement, right? Not a negative one, but like one in which you're realizing what you deserve and not settling for anything beneath what you deserve. The next card that's coming up here for Leo is the Five of Wands. This can be struggles, conflicts, disagreements. It can also be competition, okay? A sense of competitiveness. So this is good in terms of work and in terms of self-employment. If you're doing something in terms of self-employment, Five of Wands tells me that you are absolutely positively making a name for yourself on the scene. Other people who do what you do, they're beginning to notice you. Oh man, where did Leo come from? Oh gosh, like they're starting to keep an eye on you. It's like, here's some serious competition. People are talking positive about you. People are interested in what you're doing. And so now you become someone that they feel they need to compete against. Five of Wands is really positive in terms of self-employment. In terms of work, if you're working a job, people see you that all of a sudden you're getting attention. People see you that all of a sudden you're shining, and they're like, oh man, I got to keep up with Leo. Leo's outdoing me right now. Leo's getting a lot of positive attention. Leo is getting a chance to work with other departments or work on special projects or assignments, and that promotion is going to be coming up, and they're probably going to give it to Leo. And so they start competing with you, and they start trying to like outshine you or outdo you. I see this with Five of Wands. Some of you are getting really fed up with a situation, and you know it's time to go, but you're feeling this like inner struggle. You're feeling torn about it. You're like, I want to leave, I want to get out of here, but I don't know if I should. Or you're feeling a sense of guilt. Know and understand that with the Queen of Wands being here, there could be something that's happening where you're delaying, you're procrastinating, or you're feeling bad about leaving, but eventually something will happen where you're going to be so fed up and so insulted. Like, here I am trying to help you out. Here I am trying to do you a favor. Here I am feeling sorry for you, and you have the audacity to put me in a bad situation, or you have the audacity to cheat me out of my worth, or here I am catching you again doing something shady. You're going to eventually leave, and there might be some kind of a big blow up or blowout. Maybe not as bad as a tower situation, maybe not that severe, but please know and understand that some of you who are feeling conflicted about leaving a situation, or you're feeling like you have this inner struggle about it, eventually it's gonna be where you're leaving on bad terms, where you might not even talk to the people involved ever again, or there may be bad blood for quite some time. So maybe it's better to, have a more peaceful transition into the next phase of your life, next chapter of your life, without having to wait for there to be some kind of a blowout or some kind of a big disagreement. But again, it's up to you. You have free will, and you get to choose how you live your life. It's not my place to tell you what to do. But be aware that for some of you, the longer you wait because you feel bad for somebody, the more dramatic and the more harsh the exit is going to be. The next card that's coming up here for you guys is the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles for me in my readings indicates a time in which you're getting a lot smarter about what you're doing with your money, your time, and your energy. You're figuring out how to make it work for you. You're figuring out what you're going to be doing to better your circumstances, and you're investing your time and your energy into things that are going to give you a better profit or a better outcome. You're thinking in terms of the long term. So I'll give you an example. We might be trying to fix a financial situation, and our quickest short-term solution is going to be to find a second job, right? To find, like, all right, I'm gonna work full time, and then I'll do DoorDash or Uber or Lyft, nights and weekends. And that might be good for a little bit, but can you do that forever? You probably can't do that forever, right? So that would be a temporary solution. A permanent solution is gonna be, all right, let me sit down and let me look at my budget here. What are some costs that I can actually cut out? What are some ways that I can get smarter with my money and get more with the money that I already have coming in? How can I cut out unnecessary expenses? Maybe I have a gift or a talent that I'm really good at. Maybe I can start doing this for income, and that can turn into a business. I can start looking into working this business, and that will eventually become all I do, and then the money I make I get to keep for myself. It's going directly into my pocket instead of making money for somebody else. I can look into what I'm doing with my money in terms of like investing. I can look at investing. I can learn about different types of accounts and how they accrue interest. And so these are going to be more long-term solutions, right? How can I put my resources and my energy at work for me to where it's creating long-term stability, and I'm not having to run around like crazy, right? There's a sense of stability and security. I also see Page of Pentacles come up for people when your relationship with money is changing. You may have had a dysfunctional relationship with money. You may come from a family line that has never really been good with money. Maybe your parents or your guardians weren't good with money, and nobody ever taught you how money works. I think that's the majority of us. I think those of us who aren't in like the elite class, most of us didn't grow up or weren't taught how money works. And so when I see Page of Pentacles, it's like you're starting to wake up and you're starting to realize, wait a minute, there's some kind of a science to this. There's some kind of a rule to this that makes some people really good with money and really successful and other people aren't. So you're like, let me figure this out. Let me figure out what this science is. Let me figure out what these rules are. Let me figure out how money works. And so I feel like a lot of you are changing your relationship with money and learning more about it and being able to put it to work for you. Taking what you have, the money you have, the talents you have, the property you have, the resources that you have available to you, you're figuring out how to put them to work for you, right? You might get really smart and really good business ideas. You might realize that, you can use extra space for renting out for events or doing Airbnb, or you might have a property or assets that are just accumulating dust and you're like, I can sell this stuff, I can make money off of this. All this old stuff in the storage, some of this stuff is antique, some of this stuff I can get good money for, right? So you're seeing what you have and you're turning it into gold, okay, with this Page of Pentacles. You might want to check out your moon, your rising, your Venus. One more thing, I do feel that some of you Leos went through a time in which you accumulated a lot of things and now you're not using them and you're going to be liquidating. You're going to be selling them and getting money. So like maybe there was a time you got really into designer stuff and you got a ton of designer clothes and now you're like, I'm not even wearing this stuff, right? But you know what? There's a market for it and you can sell it and you can make money. So things like that too, I feel, with this Page of Pentacles. You might want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks those might resonate more for you than others. I was just thinking in my head, oh, he's finally quiet, and there he goes squeaking again. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm not sure how badly the mic is picking it up, so let me know in the comments if it's way too distracting. I hate to put him in his kennel while I'm recording. He's a rescue. He's a little clingy, so I feel bad like locking him up somewhere while I'm recording. But please let me know if it was way overly distracting. If you would like to schedule a private reading with me, you can click on the link in the description, calendly.com/amethystangelite. Love readings for March are linked in the description. Don't forget to check out the card of the day. I've been pulling a daily message. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a wonderful week, my dears. See you all in the dailies.